Hello and welcome to today's episode. My name is Tom Rolley for systemio.dev. We have been on a journey and we're continuing that today. We began looking at the problem that you face as a successful business owner looking to scale beyond where you are right now, that you've had some success, but in that success, a series of problems have opened up that have meant that your journey from 1 to 3 million in revenue, 5 to 7 people in your team, up to where perhaps you want to be, 10 million, 20 million, bigger teams, that you have hit a plateau. You have hit a time where you are spending all of your time managing your people and things are not going well. On the other hand of that, we opened up this possibility that you have designed your business to work with you, without you, that you can sell it, that you can scale it, that you can take a holiday and still take the profits. Yesterday, we looked at the first of 4 steps in bridging the gap between these two realities, and that one was called Get Organized. If you haven't watched that, I invite you to go and watch or listen to yesterday's episode and take out the insights from that, the idea of getting organized. But today, we're going to leave that and move into the idea of copy to use. Copy to use. What the heck am I talking about? Well, before we go there, let's lay out a little bit of structure for you so that you have in your mind the anatomy, so to speak, of a system. When I think about systems, I think about 4 things. 1, there is the system itself. Secondly, there are the 1 or more processes that make up that system. Versus, so a system could be considered like a game of soccer. It's got rules, it's got timing, it's got outcomes, it's got how to win. But the actual processes that make that up are more like climbing up a ladder. It's like step, 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 step. It takes you from A to B. So we've got systems, we've got processes. Some processes may use a template. So this could be a Google Doc, this could be a Typeform or a Jot form. This could be anything where you're entering in data and it's going to produce something out of it. And that thing that it produces is an asset. Now, for clarification, not all processes will have templates, but whatever they do at the end of the system, that is, in my idea, an asset. It's an asset for the system. It's an asset for the business, sorry. This means that the system has been run and it's done something. It's produced something. Now, that could be a tangible product. That could be that the banking got done. That could be that a new client was onboarded. That could be a new team member was hired. There is a purpose for the system, and that purpose is classified as an asset. So they're the 4 things that we've got. 1, the system, 2, the processes, 3, the templates, and 4, the assets. So let's come back, having laid out that structure, to this idea of copy to use. What am I talking about here? Well, I want you to imagine that you're going to deploy a system, and instead of going along and using that system and filling it up with the data, that you actually copy it so that you've got the original preserved. The original system stays as a clean system. This means a couple of things. 1, you've always got a clean system. You're like, ready? We want to do 2 or 3 systems? Great. We can duplicate it and have multiple copies of that same system being executed at the same time. And you will have this. There's no doubt that all businesses will have multiple copies of the same system running, depending on which aspect of the business we're looking at, whether that's in fulfillment, whether that's in sales. At least those 2 areas are highly likely to have multiple copies of the same system running. The second thing that it opens up for is that you can tweak a system a little bit. So let's say that you've got a clean system that's working well, but you recognize that for this particular time, you actually want to change up a few things in it. So you can copy that system, make the tweaks, and it doesn't mess up your original. So next time you go and use it, hey, it's back and preserved. The final thing about this is when you make improvements to your system, these will now carry on through all future iterations of that system. Recognize the value of this. As you go ahead and make a change to that system, let's say that you improve it, from now on, every time you go and use that system, that improvement will carry through. This is powerful, this is potent, this is extremely useful in terms of increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of how your business works. This means you can go in and maybe it takes you 1, 2, 3 hours even to make an improvement in a big system, but ongoing you will see a half-hour improvement every single time that system gets run. All right, let's leave systems. Let's move to processes. Processes you're not going to duplicate the processes. The processes are the instructions. They might be improved, but you're not going to use those to duplicate them. The instructions sit separate. So let's go to our third piece, the templates. Now, these are exactly the same, not exactly the same, but these are the same idea as the systems, that when you need to use that template, you copy it. This should not be of major breakthrough. Like, it's a template. You've done this before. What you may not have done before or understood before is that you can have your system set up as templates, and that when you duplicate them, you get all the benefits that I have just described. Finally, assets. Assets are going to be produced every time from the system being executed, so they are not a copy to use. But the two things that should be copied to use them, number one, the system, number two, the templates, if that is a system that uses templates. All right, I hope you got a lot of value here. Just setting out that structure, systems, process, templates, assets, and then looking at the idea of both copying the systems and the templates in order to keep your originals clean, and particularly the idea that when you improve either of those things, the systems or the templates, every single time you use it forward is going to be of benefit to you. If you need some help with this, head over to systemio.dev. I look forward to continuing this conversation. We've got 2 more important steps to cover in bridging that gap from where you find yourself stressed out and struggling with a succeeding business that has led to absolute chaos, through to that dream result of being able to sell at a high multiple, or to be able to be free of the business and continue to collect profits. All right, look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I hope you're enjoying this conversation about the power of systems and processes in business. I will see you then.